IIFM is very important in communicating to sell a product or a service or change behavior. What does it stand for? Does anybody know? What's in it for me? So if I call you by your name, Hazem, how you can make $1 million in 1 week? I attracted him, attention, he got interested, desire, action. It's called AIDA again. So 80% of anybody who reads anything reads the headline only. So if you don't tell them what's in it for them in the headline, you've lost 80% of your target audience. So I mentioned AIDA. KISS, keep it short and simple. Don't, talk too much and make it very quick and easy. The headline, Okay, so these are rules. One thing I want you to remember today, if at all, is Rabostic. There are lots of acronyms so that you can remember something. You know what an acronym is? Letters that go to. Rabostic is the most important. If you've forgotten everything I told you, I want you to remember Rabostic, and I'll take you through it. There's something called integrated marketing communications, using all the tools and disciplines of communication. Tools are above the line, mass media, on the line, all the social media and the LinkedIn and all that. Below the line, point of sale material, brochures, and these are tools. The books call them tools again, but I call them disciplines, and there are over 20 disciplines in communication, integrated marketing. And there are overlaps, so advertising, public relations, direct marketing, relationship marketing, branding. I added to the books corporate social responsibility, because if we continue to live the way we're living, not our children, we won't find water or food to have during our lifetime. Okay? So I will go through objectives, and they should be SMART, and there's a book that says SMART ASS, with a double R and a double T. Specific, measurable, appropriate, realistic, relevant, targeted, time-bound, ambitious, scary, satisfying. SMART ASS, so we have to be specific with our objectives. I want to make $1 million in 1 week. No, that's not, what's the timeline and so on. There's something called the Creative Toolkit. I'm going to leave all this material with your chapter here, but I will not go through all of it. There are over 44 ways of how any of us can become creative. And I'll just show you some of them, but if you want to take the whole toolkit, it's going to be available here. And tips on the way, I won 63 Table Topic Awards over the past 3 years. I'll give you some of the tips that helped me make it. Okay, integrated marketing, getting the biggest bang for your buck. How to make the bang. Can anybody tell me when I finish 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Yes,
okay.
there's a time.
Okay, the future is not the way it used to be. I've been talking about this for many, many years, long before artificial intelligence. And who said that? Somebody called Yogi Berra, who was an American baseball champion. And if you go on Google to go to Yogiisms, you'll find things that he says that don't make sense. But if you really look at it, it's true. The future is not the way it used to be. Even as we're talking, things are changing. Time past is contained in time present. There's going to be, that conflicts with the future. It's not the way it used to be. I am here because of my past. Had I not failed in 2 universities, 8 years, gone to a 3rd university, taken 6 Egyptian pounds per month as a soldier in the Air Force, when my girlfriend married me, and got me to go to a 3rd university and to teach in America. They don't know English in America. And all because I used to tell jokes to attract girls. And I did a master's, got higher points. My mother passed away, had to come back. Tariq Noor was starting his agency. He used to flirt in French. I used to flirt in English. He said, come and work with me. I said, what am I going to do? He said, you're going to be a creative director. I said, what does that mean? He said, I want you to give me funny ideas to turn into television commercials. I'm saying this because entrepreneurship, do what you love with a passion. Okay? So, and time past and time present are perhaps contained in time future. This is someone called T.S. Eliot who said that. Finally, I became a professor of practice in the university that I was kicked out of, teaching graduation projects, okay? And Tariq Noor sent me this. Anyway, I can tell you. Now I have 3 ads that I appear in that got all the women above 60 to be madly in love with me. So I produced 5,000 pencils that read, I actually met Jalal Zaki. I think I have around 25 left, so I can give them around to anybody who wants them. So I'll go back to that because I'll go into breaking the rules of communication. I had 20 commandments. My company name after I left Tariq was Perception Communication. And I put this poster in every room. And the one that I used most were number 3, no excuses. The foreigners call us land of IBM. Inshallah, bukra, malish. No, I'll come, 1 hour later and I'll not be 360 seconds late. Okay, no one in the world would have expected that social media would have changed the whole world, the revolutions that happened, and what's happened, 30 million coming out in Maidan al-Tahrir. Philip Kotler came here maybe 12, 15 years ago. He's the god of marketing. He said, if you're in the same business in the coming 5 years, you'll be out of business. Innovate or evaporate. Okay? So, today again, and I'm talking about a whole presentation on corporate social responsibility. I did a world summit on it. It's still not very understood, but we're talking about the triple bottom line, people, planet, profit. And I can go over all these things with you guys on Zoom sessions if you like, or at any other session, but today I'm just giving you an idea about it. I did a session with Lula Baklawa, I call her Lula Baklava. She's the head of the International Public Relations Organization for a long, long time. And the session was the rise of public relations and the fall of advertising. So Lula was talking for PR, I was talking for advertising, but I know that it's public relations, and I slaughtered Lula, but because she's a very dear friend of mine, I put gloves of PR and got her to get the advertising, the knockout. I did a song for her. Her name was Lula, Lula Baklava, that woman who drives me bananas. Yes, it was Lula. Okay, IMC, Integrated Eتصالات تسويقية متكاملة in Arabic, Integrated Marketing Communications. It's all the tools and disciplines. These are some of the disciplines. And as I said, there's overlaps, public relations, advertising, and so when you combine all these things and you're consistent with them, you get a bigger bang for your buck. You make things, you get more mileage for less money. These are the different tools of communication, above the line, on the line, below the line. And here are some, there are over 20 disciplines. And I added to the books corporate social responsibility and events management and so on. Okay, this is the only thing I want you to remember today. Boston. R stands for research. Before doing anything, you need to know where you're coming from, where you want to be, and what is the SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, okay? Number 2, your audiences. You have to do a stakeholder mapping of all the audience that is color-coded according to priority. I'll try to go to the, okay, here it is. So here is your company, or here is your organization, and it's everybody and anybody who can affect or be affected by what you want to communicate to sell a product or a service or change behavior, social cause. So you say the orange is more important than the green, then yellow, then whatever other colors you put. So you can have competitive internally. It's the shareholders, the employees are very important in a service for a bank. The most important thing is the employee. If he doesn't smile and say, good morning, Mr. Zaki, I know you like your coffee with caramel flavor on it and so on. But if he frowns at me all the time, so you should give them more money and so on. Good morning, Mr. Zaki, and so on, and train them. So going back. Okay, the audiences, budgets, how much do you have? Or if you have a friend like Tariq Noor who's got the Qahira wal Nas, Ricky, come on, let's do an ad for Toastmasters Giza and how it can change the life of people in Egypt and so on. So in kind. Objectives have to be smart as I mentioned. Okay, specific, measurable. Strategy is long-term, and I'll talk to you if I have the time about something that changed my life, and that was the Schweppes campaign we did with Hassan Abdin, The Secret of Schweppes, and how we were taken to England, to Schweppes International. Schweppes was part of 30% here in Egypt of the soft drinks, whereas Coca-Cola and Pepsi were 70%. So they couldn't fight a war head to head, they had to go guerrilla warfare. And they had a secret that made them successful all over the world. They took us to England and got us to know what happened globally. Think global, act local, so we created global communication. And I'll talk to you about that if we have the time, and try and show you some of Hassan Abdin's ads. And what I learned from that got me to break the rules of communication. I convinced my client I would do an ad that would not show him the product, that would not mention the name of the product, and that would encourage consumers to go and buy competitive products. He said, Galal, you're joking. I said, Adil, I'm going to do this ad at my own expense. I will pre-test it, and if it works, you have to pay me, and you have to go down with it. I did the ad, did the pre-testing, it worked. He went down with it. He called me 2 months later, said, Galal, stop the ad. I said, why? He said, I've sold out. So knowing the rules, breaking the rules, and I'll tell you what it is that came from Schweppes. So tactics then becomes short term. On the occasion of Ramadan, buy 2, get 1 free. On the occasion of Christmas, so it's a short term thing. And implementation has 3 things. What are the tasks? Who is responsible for carrying them out? And what's the timeline implemented? And finally, control is monitoring and evaluation. Have we achieved what we wanted to do? Where did we excel? Where did we go wrong? How can we improve? So if I want you to remember anything, it's Hrab Bostic as a model for integrated marketing communication. Here's another one that's nearly the same, but it's not easy to remember as Hrab Bostic. It's big. Big is easy, okay? Okay, again, the smart, I didn't put the S here because, anyway, but it's in a book written by a woman. And the S stands for ambitious, scary, satisfying. That's the, okay, there's something called a decision-making unit. There's the user. For example, if my daughters, when they were very young, 5 years old, want ice cream. So they're the user. Who's the buyer? It's me. I'm the guy who has the money. Who's the decider? Their mother says, Galal, if you're going to get Rola and Rania ice cream that has additives and preservatives, you're going to go and sleep at Hazem's place tonight. So who, you have to know, the gatekeeper, influencer, it's called the decision-making unit. Who decides, all right? Plan ahead. If you don't know where you're going, you won't get there, okay? Without research, you're in a dark tunnel. Either you're going to see, how many minutes left? 10 minutes? Okay, without research, you're in a dark tunnel. Either you're going to see the light at the end of it, or you're going to see a train coming at you. But use research as a guide, not a god. Some people would use research the way a drunkard would use a lamppost for support rather than illumination. And I broke against research, and I can give you a case, international case histories that broke research. Okay, this is a lovely tool called mind mapping. You put your main idea, getting the biggest bang for your buck. That's the heading, and then start. What is advertising? What are the different tools? What are the rules of communication, and so on? Fruit. Can anybody tell me what they saw in their minds? You read a word.
Bananas, apples.
Bananas. Apples, my favorite. Apples. Okay. Color of apples. Red. Green. Yellow. Okay. An apple fell, I think I said this before, an apple fell on somebody's head. Newton's law of gravity. What do you do with an apple? Juice. Make salad, fruit salad. Okay. Do you know that the women here are the result of us being on this earth? Had it not been for Eve getting Adam to eat the forbidden apple fruit, we would have been in heaven. Women, behind every great woman hides a man. They make up half the population and they build up the rest. I got a thing. Oh my God. Okay, so that's called mind mapping. 5 minutes. This is the secret that Schweppes used: consistency, concentration, continuity, where the whole campaign becomes greater than the sum of its parts. So having a person like Hassan Abdin, it used to be in England someone called William Franklin. We turn on the light and say, they are trying to discover the secret of you know what, produced by you know who, and they show half the bottle. And every time we would see, and he'd talk about the product. So we turned this into Arabic. We got Hassan Abdin. The moment I see Hassan Abdin, I know he's going to talk to me على سر Schweppes, the secret of Schweppes. And we created a language called Schweppesonia, taken from the global campaign. Natural fruit particles embraced in a mist of refreshing bubbles. بالعربي فتفيت بالفاكهه الطبيعيه محتضنه بسراب من البقاليل المنعشه. بقليله تنطق بقليله تنزل على زور تزغزغ. And every time he's about to reveal the secret, something happens to stop Hassan Abdin. So that concentration, what is the unique selling proposition of Schweppes? It's the only carbonated soft drink that has natural fruit particles in it. فتفيت من الفاكهه الطبيعيه محتضنه بسراب. Continuity, don't change Hassan Abdin with Nancy Agram. So the effect, this is how I got to do the ad that broke the rules. They saw me. من فضلك خدي بالك مش اي زيت عن بات شمس يبقى سيله، خدي بالك من العلامه، من فضلك خدي بالك on newspaper, magazine, so on. We didn't have social media. So the moment I come out and break the rules by saying من فضلك خدي بالك. في انواع كثيره من الزيت والسمنه في السوق النهارده. لو سمحتي استشيري دكتور عن الاصناف المناسبه ليكي ولعيلتك، وبعد كده من فضلك جربي كل الاصناف دي المستورده والمحليه، وقرري بنفسك المنتج الصحي تحسي انه طازه، مريح للمعده، ما بيعملش ريحه ولا دخان، ويخلي طعم اكلك كله حلو. من فضلك خدي بالك. What's that? Sila. Why? This guy is the Sila chef. So I use the same thing, but I broke the rules. Okay, these are, I can share, I leave all these things for you. If you don't, we don't have the time now, but if you have any questions, I'll give you my card. I usually give the card for 3 million rupees, but today, very special occasion, I will give it to you for free. And I got 25 or 30 pencils that read, I met Galal, that I'd love to share with you. Okay, so how many seconds? Finished?
No, I have 5 minutes.
What?
5 minutes.
5 minutes? More? Oh, so I can show some commercials. I have the Hassan Abdin commercials there. I have the ones that I come out in. I don't know if we can. Okay. How do I get the jingle to work? هنشغل ثلاثة. The first was a long ad for 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And I knew the client was going to tell me, you're crazy, I'm going to pay £30,000 every time, and the competitor is going to pay 1,000. I said, yes, but you're going to create impact versus frequency. ده حسن عبدين ممكن it's okay. حسن okay. حسن عبدين.
حاجة غريبة، قيمة مشروع منها كتير، يكونش سودة في المقاليل، ممكن تفتح الليلة، بس لقيت الخاتم اللي هيرجع على سيدة شموس. ثانك يو يا أخي. عارفين بقى السر إيه؟
There's several ads linked to each other. Every time he's about to reveal.
أنا كاتب عليه، بس أنا خميت، عاوز أفضفض. بس خد الصف الأول. يا سلام، يوسف أفندي أصيل، ومطرح لاسم يمري. السر هو إن الشمس
شوية
هواي كده يا وليه، هواي.
These are different ads. Every time ترى ما هو سر Schweppes. Every ad ends. Okay, so every time عايز أوريهم الشيخ العربي. أنا بطلع مع حسن طارق. Whenever he wanted to save money, he'd use me because he pays me my salary. By the way, my hourly rate now is $500. But my wife only gives me 300 pounds a month, and if I spend them, I'm going to come and spend the night at your place. Okay, هنا حاطين لي حسن عبدين، كان عندي سكسوكي.
وحيدة بالفاكهة الطبيعية. عظيم عظيم. وهذا يوسف أصيل. عظيم عظيم. وهذا ليمون طبيعي متنكر في صورة زجاجة. مو هيك؟ هيك. أما هذا فهو برتقال طبيعي. وبداخله فتافيت البرتقال اللي بتلعلع. عظيم والله عظيم. إذا قول لي يا أخي ما هو سر الشمس؟ الله يعطيك العافية. تمتع بسر الشمس.
Thank you. The book I'm writing, oh, sorry. I am, because of my wife, Journey to a Happy Life. I owe my life to her. And I did a song on YouTube, To Faggot with Love. I'd love you to see it.